This is UnderDawn. It's the game I've been working on for the better half of this year, and it's the type of game I've always wanted to play. So I decided to make it, and I wanted to share my journey of learning Roblox Studio and working on this project, and potentially even get some attention on the game. So what is UnderDawn? Well, it's a roguelike co-op PvE first-person shooter with RPG mechanics, which is a pretty fat mouthful to say, so make that what you will. The primary inspiration for this game is Helldivers 2, and it's really going to reflect in the vibe and so much of the feeling of the gameplay, at least how I intend it to be. The gameplay loop, however, revolves around a roguelike format, which we will get to in a second. While this technically isn't my first rodeo in development, everything I've done in the past was quite surface level, while I've pretty much had to do everything on this project, and go through all the very stupid and annoying issues that come with learning Roblox Studio and actually using the Roblox engine. And while I've had some experience with Python in the past, it's a whole new level of challenge working with an actual game development software. UnderDawn takes place on Tritea, an alien planet fractured by a gravitational event and split into layers. You're part of an UN-commissioned expedition force sent to recover alien artifacts from vast ruins, but hostile fauna, rival factions, and a mystery of a vanished hyper-advanced species stand in your way as you descend deeper into the planet. The core mechanic of the game is theurgy, which serves as almost a sort of a magic system for the game. Your abilities will need to consume mana, and there will be considerable lore and gameplay tie-ins as we move on. So what do I mean by a roguelike format? Well, weapons and additional abilities will be somewhat randomized in their attainment methods. 2. Specific buffs in the forms of relics can be picked up to enhance your character, weapons, abilities, and even nerf the enemies. 3. A variety of strategies and mechanics can be utilized to complete sections. 4. There is a level of procedural map generation to facilitate replayability and to kind of create a feeling of unfamiliarity with every run. So expect each run to take 60 to 70 minutes, split between several layers of the world. Each layer or floor is split into several sectors, which will randomly pick between a variety of pre-generated terrain. Now, the problem is, how do you do generative terrain in Roblox? Well, you can't really, kind of. At least not without using default Roblox terrain generation. I'm not even sure about that, actually. I haven't played around with that much. But the problem with that is that default Roblox terrain kind of looks bad in my opinion. I don't want to use it. If any of you are like good developers, I'm not. I'm still kind of new to this thing. I've only been like writing like code on Roblox Studio for like 6-7 months now, but if any of you guys know how, just like let me know in the comments. But the workaround I'm using is manual map creation in blocks that can easily fit together through making terrain in Blender and then decorating them in Studio and then slotting them together by like randomly picking through a bunch of like pre-generated like pre-made terrain maps. So every time you play through a run, the selection of maps will be completely different from the last time. As a side tangent, why do Roblox mesh parts just like suck so bad? The collision boxes for them are like so wildly off from the actual maps that I had to create an entirely separate collision map and make that the map that the player actually like collides with. Anyways, so there will be a variety of the terrain, but after enough gameplay, eventually some of it will look familiar to you. However, generation of structures will be largely randomized and independent of maps, thus creating a lot of replayability and novelty within every playthrough. Enemy AI. We don't talk about the enemies right now. I'm currently kind of working on an entity handling system that will handle enemy rendering on the client to reduce strain on the server and improve performance. There's not a lot in the way of enemy behaviors and such right now. In the future, however, enemies will have a bunch of defensive stats, and their behaviors will generally be similar to the enemy behavior in Helldivers 2. We will get into that another time. But there is stuff that needs to first come before that, so we're working on that. Now for the gameplay and actual doing stuff. Right now we have a pretty functional weapon system, pretty functional guns. Like there's spread, there's bullet travel time, there's damage. The defensive stats kind of work. There's a custom damage application, enemy handling kind of system. And so far, at least the enemy handling system is temporary before you set up the new one. But everything kind of works. There's an attachment system where you can, and it works pretty similar to Battlefield 2042. And I think that's one thing from Battlefield 2042 that we can really take a good look from, because it's actually a really good mechanic that you can switch attachments on the fly. But yeah, I didn't want to keep attachments as this thing that you just got permanently. But they're just going to be things that you're going to be able to pick up, and you're going to be able to put them on your gun during the gameplay. So that's how the attachments are going to work. In the future, they're also going to have weapon modules and weapon kits, conversion kits, kind of that kind of thing to turn your weapon generally as a direct upgrade to improve your weapons. That's going to come from the weapon vouchers, which are how you're generally going to get your weapons. And basically what weapon vouchers are, they're going to they're the boxes that you see around the map. They're probably going to be dropped by enemies in the future, or from completing something, or looting someplace. And they're each type is going to correspond to a different type of weapon. So an assault rifle type, a general rifle type for battle rifles, and DMRs, sniper rifles, and a shotgun one, an SMG one, stuff like that. But you will be able to pick a type of weapon from that selection, and you will have to pay war bonds for it. And what are war bonds? They are one of the three main currencies in the game. The first of which is called a Terran. Now, what's a Terran? It's the green one. It's the general it's a general shop economy, and this is all for the in-game economy, not for progression's sake. But this is the green one is for shops, the traders you will see around the map as you progress through, the friendly allies, or the friendly parties or neutral parties that you can trade with. The blue one, that's the war bonds that I was talking about. That's the one that you use, that you spend for weapons, that you spend at the weapon vouchers. And the sovereign, it's going to be more of an exclusive currency that one's shared between your team. And yeah, you're going to have to manage your economy if you're going to want to win, because that's how you get all your resources. And if you've also noticed, there's also a bunch of ammo types underneath. That's for all the weapons. Most weapons are going to consume ammo, obviously. So there's the small, there's the medium, there's intermediate, there's large, and the shotgun. Obviously, different weapons are going to use different kind of caliber of ammo, and this is for that. You're also going to have to manage an ammo economy. You're going to have to be mindful of what shots you take. You have to be mindful of how you're going to kill stuff, and how you're going to move through the map. So keep in mind of your ammo, keep in mind of your economy, core part of the gameplay. Now, if you do run out of ammo, it's not the end of the world. We have a pretty powerful melee system, and the question is, how do we make a powerful melee system in a game like this, where eventually all these enemies are going to be ranged, they're going to be able to shoot you from super far away with machine guns or rockets. And how are you going to be able to counter that with melee weapon, right? How are you going to close the gap? Well, my answer to that is we have a parrying system. So you parry a hit, and that's just going to, you're not going to take the damage. So, just parry better. Gotta time the shots. It's skillful gameplay, And my full intention is to have melee be a fully viable playstyle in its own right. It's probably not going to be as good as guns and stuff, obviously. There's also going to be special weapons like RPGs. Not really RPGs. The game's more set in the future. So it'll probably be something like railguns and such. But yeah, obviously they're not going to be the strongest, but they're going to have their place. And that's what I'm looking for. Now, I wanted to end this video off by talking about a few people who's helped me in my journey, and also how I want help further in my journey. First of all, I'd like to thank Star Union. She's helped me immensely in, well, she's provided me the models pretty much for free because, well, in the past I worked for her for pretty much for free for her game. But yeah, she's helped me with pretty much most of the models you see on the screen. But you know, she's not reliable. She's like, she has her own stuff. There's nothing against her. Obviously, she makes great stuff work, but I can't rely on her to make models. She takes forever. She has her own stuff. I mean, yeah, I need funding. So if anyone has like an investment opportunity, do let me know. Just contact me. And for the rest of you, join the Discord server down below and like subscribe to this YouTube channel or something. That'd be all. I'm sorry this devlog isn't as high quality as I wanted it to be, but I'm just so busy. I have so much in life to do as well, and I've been working on this for like 7 months now. I don't really have any free time. I do my studies and then I come and work on this. I That's all, and I don't know, I feel like I'm doing this alone, and if you can do something, just at least join the server, make it worthwhile. Thank you. Bye.